Hey, hello everyone. Hey chat. Hey Jordan. How are you doing?
Hello. Doing good. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Is it weird talking to people that are not there?
No, not at all. I'm ready. I'm ready to get the show on the road.
Yeah, I asked you before we started whether you've done Twitch before, and you've told me you're an expert. So I'm sure you'd do great at handling chat questions, etc. at the same time.
Yeah, no, it'll go great. Thank you for having me. No, I'm excited to be streaming and showing everyone off MuleInvaders. So like to get
Nice.
started, I always have to start it off because Mulesoft is a corporate product, so we just have to let everyone know that you should make your purchasing decisions based off products that are currently available. Um,
Yeah, good
but
to know.
yeah, good to know, right? So I want to like just kind of intro and
Oh wait,
let people.
we're not sharing your screen yet.
Oh, we're not.
No,
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
no. So for now we just introduce. So just in case people have not been here before, my name's Arlemi and I'm a developer advocate at Postman, located in London, and I'm here. So with Jordan from Mulesoft. If you want to go quickly through what you're doing, Jordan.
Yeah. So basically, I've been working as a developer advocate for a number of years now. I'm basically at MuleSoft, so I'm working at basically improving the developer experience. So we have a challenge where we're a corporate level, enterprise level product, and there's not a lot out there. Like when a developer comes and like tries to search for a technical question, there's a lot of materials that are published, but it's hard to organize all that information and put it into one place to create the ideal developer experience. So what I'm doing is I go out, I search for all that information, and then I basically put it in a form that developers can read, interact with, and learn and self-educate. Because my goal is basically to make developers successful on our product. So that's basically what I'm doing at
Yeah.
MuleSoft. So I'm basically, launching these new websites, helping with the whole developer experience, doing meetups, doing Twitch streams like this to help educate people and help people learn how to use MuleSoft.
And you're also launching games, which is what we're going to do today. So
Yeah.
you've created that game called MuleInvaders, which kind of demos how you can like use APIs to spawn stuff in the game. But I guess we go through that in details later. Right before we jump into that, I just want to do a quick, in case you missed it, of what came out of Postman. If you don't mind, I'll steal 5 minutes to just talk about Postman, and then we'll go into into MuleSoft. Okay. In case you missed it, so we do that every stream. Like we take a few minutes at the beginning to talk about what's new, and we had a release this week, like a normal release, or release every 2 weeks, and this one had some stuff in there, and mostly it had some new layout that we've already got feedback on. But if you've noticed it yet, you can see that it's working like this. You've got pans, you have the console in the app. But the one thing that we want to talk about is that as of today or yesterday, we've released Postman on web, which is a request that we've had a lot. So now if you use the dashboard, you have a build beta at the top left. And if you click on that, then you can access the Postman experience on the web. So anything that you would do on your computer, you can now do it on the web. So for example, what we do during the stream, we have our community forum, and we have that one collection with which through APIs create like adds a banner on our community website to know that we're live. So I'm just going to do that now. So I just need to find the right collection, which is called Reception, and I'll send that request saying that we're live. And it says it does not work because browsers and cross-origin requests. So all I have to do is change the agent to desktop, which is installed, and send a request again. And there we go. Now on the community forum, we have a banner that says we are live with Jordan, and people can join and play games. So hopefully we'll get even more people to join and to play the game with us. So with that said, now I'm going to share your screen, Jordan. Yeah. Okay,
Perfect.
cool. So what you're going to do now is kind of walk us through how you got to create that game and how we can play it. I may
Yeah.
interrupt you at some point.
Yeah.
If the chat has questions, I may interrupt you as well and ask the question that they have for you. But with that said, yeah, go ahead and let us know all
Awesome.
about MuleInvaders.
No, yeah, thanks for having me. No, it's awesome to see that we have so many people on the Twitch stream right now. So thank you guys for having me and thanks for listening. So I want to give you guys a little background on my experience. That way it kind of, goes into like what we're going to be talking about. So some fun facts about me, right? Developer advocate at Mulesoft. I'm 6'9" tall, so I'm one of like the tallest Mulesoft developers around the office. When we could actually go into the office, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm the tallest person at the company." So
what
that's
is that
always
in
really.
what is that in meters?
Oh, I don't know, like 206
Oh,
centimeters or
that is tall. Damn.
yeah, it's pretty tall. So, and then also like my background is in game development. So when I was in college, I basically started my independent game studio, and I started like basically making apps like in high school. I started using an SDK called Corona SDK, which was like a cross-platform 2D engine that you could basically code in Lua. And I was able to develop a ton of applications for the Nook and the Kindle Fire, and basically developing these apps and putting it out there and like making games for kids. I was actually able to put myself through college, just running my own indie game studio like out of my parents' bedroom. So it was a really great time, and it was really plentiful, and I'm really blessed for it. And that's kind of what got me into tech, right? Is making these video games on my own time.
So
And then
Kindle,
I've
sorry, the Kindle
yeah.
Fire is it the ebook or is it?
Yeah, it was like the ebook way back in the day. And so
Yeah.
then I transitioned from doing like mobile apps to then making games for Nintendo. And I published like about 2 games on the Nintendo Wii U. And right now I'm trying to publish another game on the Switch right now. So I have experience in the gaming world. And then that's kind of what got me into doing API development. And so I run one of the largest game development groups in the city of San Francisco called SF Game Development. And that's where we basically organize all the game developers together, and we try to like basically problem solve. We talk about like technical things in the industry, talk about marketing. And this is where we're able to get together and all teach each other. And if it wasn't for groups like this, I would have never been successful in the gaming world. So I just encourage you that if you want to get into video games, you should really make sure to join a local meetup group that's into game development, meet fellow game developers, because there's so many technical challenges that you're going to face when you're making games, and you're going to get stuck on a roadblock. So having that support system there of other indies that can help you with marketing and help you like basically run a business, because gaming, it's you're launching a product, right? So you need to think about it holistically from a product standpoint of like, how are you going to make this a successful product? So that not only is development but also marketing and everything. So it's a lot to make a game.
I remember so like probably 10 years ago I started doing some bit of like Unity 3D. I think I was telling you earlier, and I joined that. I was from a small city in the south of France called Montpellier, and there was this local Unity group, and I think they have some like all around the world. Like the Unity groups are quite famous, I think. And yeah, they had all these chats about the difference between whether you should go freeware or you should go like not pay to win, but like free to play, and then you can create add-ons and all the difference. And that was very interesting. And I didn't pursue gaming like you did, but we ended at the same place. You just had more fun during your studies, probably creating all these games, when I was just doing some cloud stuff.
Totally. Yeah, no, gaming is really fun, and I encourage everyone to make a game if you haven't already. So, I mean, some things that I love in my personal time, love music. I love chameleons. This is my chameleon here. So I just wanted to shout that out real quick before we get into the talk. Yeah.
That's cool.
And so you can ignore some of the other things on here, but what we can get into later is, if we have time, we can talk about doing some API development and talk about like how we can set up policies with our APIs. But what I really want to touch on today is this creating a video game in MuleInvaders. And so I kind of want to explain first, like, what is like the Flow Designer product? What is Anypoint Studio? What is Mulesoft, right? So with Mulesoft, we really allow you to build integrations fast. So we have hundreds of out-of-the-box connectors that you can use, and you can literally drag and drop them into your project and basically connect different systems together. And we also offer an API designer on the web where you can basically design APIs in RAML or OAS by hand. And then we also have a live code editor where you can basically go in and your APIs will automatically be generated based off the scaffolding that you want. It's a really powerful tool, and it's really never been easier to create APIs with Mulesoft. And so I think what I wanted to show in this game is how you can easily set up a basic flow, get an API up and running, and build a backend for your game in like less than a couple days. Or like we're going to show in like less than 30 minutes, right? It's really, really simple. So what you can do with the Mulesoft product, I mean, these are some real business use cases on why people use Mulesoft. So A lot of people use this for like, let's say, synchronizing data records. So let's say if you need to move like an SAP to Salesforce, or you need to let's say you have an old HR migration project and you need to bring all that into Workday, or let's say you have Excel spreadsheets and you need to basically merge data between different Excel spreadsheets and then put them into one system. Another example would be like, let's say you have a checkout experience on your website, and when a user fills out a form, you want to send them an automated SMS, an email. Basically, these are all things that Mulesoft can do. It's an integration engine, and I think one fun use case to show off how powerful Mulesoft would be to make a game about it. So this is how I developed the game MuleInvaders using Unity and Flow Designer. I think it would be best to actually show the game working.
Okay.
Probably on your computer, and then we could probably get into how we actually made it once we actually show how the game works.
Okay.
So what I can show first is what we've done is when we go into Anypoint Studio, or when we log into Anypoint platform, this is basically the home screen when you're a MuleSoft developer of where you go to develop integrations. So we have this platform called Exchange, and Exchange is where you can basically download and reuse templates that were created by anyone in the organization or anyone in MuleSoft. So this is where if you code something, you can upload your asset here, and then anyone can download it and use it in their own app. So it's very much for like an app store. You can think of it like an app store for APIs, right? And that's what MuleSoft allows you to do. So what we did is I created this MuleSoft template, I created the integration, and I published it to Exchange. And what this means is that anyone that's listening right now can actually go into this template and just click download, and all that code will be downloaded into their own MuleSoft project, and they'll be able to consume it and make changes to it in real time.
Cool. So I think I'd say we should try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay. So let me share my
Load
screen.
up your screen, share your screen, and
Okay.
let's show how it works.
I'll share my screen on Skype as well, so you can stop me if I'm doing anything wrong. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I'm actually watching the Twitch stream, so
okay. Yeah, but then you can stop me before they see it if there's any delay.
Okay.
So you're telling me if I go to Anypoint platform, I have an account, so I can just log in.
Yeah, and just so everyone is aware, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial if you want to try this yourself. So,
and that is if I remember my password. Which probably apparently don't. So you can sign up for a free account, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have that email. That's company being Postman, Arlemi, Twitch, and password.
So for some context on the game, basically I developed this video game using Unity. So I don't know if anyone in the chat is a Unity developer. Definitely speak in the chat and let us know that you're here. I know that there's a right now a lot of people are choosing to go with Unreal. A lot of people are going with Unity. A lot of people are going with other 2D tools, like other 2D engines. But what I love about Unity is just how many assets there are out there. There's a ton of there's a huge developer audience. There's a ton of people out there creating really awesome templates. And like whenever you have an issue with Unity, there's always someone on the forums that's like answered it in some way, shape, or form. So it's easy to Google. It's easy to figure out questions to your or answers to your questions, which I think is really powerful.
I feel like Unity has, so they have the gaming vibe, just like Unreal, but they also have like a better, or like I would say a different developer vibe. I know I was using it when I was doing some augmented reality or like virtual reality, but for business. We are doing so to just like put random real estate plan in the real world. And it felt much more like welcoming than Unreal when you wanted to go like really into details. But that's it. I've not used Unreal, so I wouldn't be able to compare. So you say I go discover and share.
Yeah.
And I look for Mule.
Yeah, you have to go to provided by Mulesoft on the left side.
That makes sense. MuleInvaders.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so if you click that,
and download.
what you can, you can either download it or you can literally click Open Flow, and it will open right in our web IDE.
Okay.
So this is called Flow Designer, and so what you can see is that the entire integration is pre-built for you because I've basically done the hard work of developing this on my own machine.
I like that.
and then I uploaded it. So now anyone can basically reuse this in the organization. So you have to keep in mind that this is very much used for enterprise level applications. So there's going to be tons of instances in organizations where it's like you're going to have these APIs and integrations that you want to share internally, and then other people are going to want to reuse that and consume that.
It's fair. So
with others.
I've got this that you've created for me, and there's like I can see, I'm guessing that's where it's gonna listen to the code that I'm gonna make.
Yep.
It's gonna do some storing. This I don't know, but you'll probably walk us through it, and then we'd get some logger. So
Yeah.
I need to click use this template. I'm
Yep.
guessing. Okay, so I'll go ahead. I'll call it Mule Twitch. Very original name. Okay, imported.
Yep.
All you have to do is fill in some field. It sounds very cool, very easy. And then
Yep.
there's listed in problems. So yeah,
Yeah, so what you'll have to do is there's going to be a few errors, and that's because you haven't set up your HTTP listener config. So what's great about Mulesoft is that you can simply with one connector, you can basically listen to an API endpoint, and you get to specify what the API endpoint is. So if you click on the HTTP listener card, what this is basically doing is it's basically saying, okay, listen to the path /hack. So
Okay.
any post request or GET request that happens on our URL on that endpoint, this entire flow will execute once the /hack endpoint is hit with a post request. So what you can do is you can go up to fix. And what we're going to do here is we're basically going to add a connection. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll,
And so you can just name that whatever you want.
incoming requests.
Yeah. And then you can go to connection type,
And
listener.
okay.
And then host 0.0.0.0.
As default.
And then you can just do port 8081. And so what if we wanted to do HTTPS, what we would do is we would essentially add a TLS. We would have to create a key store, and then we would add that as a TLS config.
So could you do that for me? As in, like, would Mulesoft do that out of the box, or would I need to use
it's
another
very
provider?
yeah. So Mulesoft does it. So it's a simple command line command that you run. You just generate a key store, and then you upload that to do HTTPS. But for now, let's just do HTTP. It's pretty simple.
So I'll save. I've got my incoming request.
And then you go down.
Save again.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Says it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Cool. So I've got my flow.
And so let's walk through some of the flows. So essentially, this is the hack endpoint, and this is the main endpoint that the video game is going to listen to, and basically pull to basically check, are there any new incoming requests? So what the object store is the object store connector. This is retrieving all of the keys that we have in our project and basically receiving them, and then the transform card basically takes that data and maps it using data weave to basically look in a specific way. So we're basically formatting a JSON object to a format that the game client can read. And then we're logging that out at the end. Okay. So if you go to script, so if you click on the transform card and then you click on the script at the bottom, this is a simple data weave script, and what this is doing is essentially saying, okay, we want the output format to be application JSON. So the power of data weave really is that, okay, it doesn't matter in what format the person sends the post request, right? So let's say if someone sends a post request and it's a form URL encoded post request, or let's say it's a CSV, right? What we can do with data weave is it doesn't matter the format. We can basically take that input and then we can output it in whatever format we want. So in this case, we're going to output as application JSON, and we're creating an object where each key is called laser, shield, score, power laser. And these are going to be the hacks that are in the game that basically affect the player. So they're like power-ups in the game. And so when you call one of these endpoints, it'll essentially spawn a brand new UUID as the value of that key. And then the game client will basically pick up that there's been a new power-up that's been spawned, and will then execute that power-up in the game. So this might not make sense right now, but when we actually play the game, you'll understand how APIs work. So what we can do is we can actually go to the left of the project, and we can see that there's different endpoints listed on the left. Yep. So there's power laser, there's spawn score. And so with this HTTP listener, right, we're listening to that HTTP endpoint, right? and then we're storing. There's an object store connector. You can click on that, and we're actually storing a value in the object store. So a lot of people, you can consider this like a KV store. That's another familiar term for this. Basically, we're just storing a value under that key.
Okay.
And so we're just spawning a UUID. And so then the main endpoint is basically listening for new UUIDs, and the game client's able to detect, okay, did we receive a new UUID? If we did, then spawn the power-up in the game. If we didn't, don't spawn a power-up in the game.
Okay, and then we'll see, I guess we'll see it in the game. So is that all I have to do, and then I just launch the game?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So you've... what we've done, you've sent me kind of a modified version of the game, so we can make it better for all our viewers to play with us. So I've got that downloaded. I'll just do that on the side. Cool. So MuleInvaders, and I can start it. Okay, so I'll go windowed just so we can see both like the codes that are being made and the game. I'm guessing this would be graphics quality, good. So these are the controls.
You don't need to change anything there.
Yeah.
It's just WASD to move around. Yep. Yeah.
So I'll just make sure that I can like change the sound if it's too loud, just in case. Okay, so that's the game, MuleInvaders. Okay, so ask me for the URL, which I guess I'm taking from here. Would that be the one?
Yeah, so we can take that URL, or if we want to show the features of what I newly implemented, because I created a different project, we can just use the current URL that's already input in the game.
So let's just go with that one then. I'll submit, and then... Okay, so I have the sound in my headset. I don't know if you can hear it on the stream.
We can't.
We can't. Okay.
Or wait, let's see. Let me see here.
I'll press the button to play. Yeah, I don't think it's being heard on the stream, but it sure. Oh, wait. Escape closes the whole thing. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I made it easy to exit. That
was very easy. So I'll restart it, but I'm just gonna change the Windows setting for sound because it's a bit loud in my headset just, and I won't be able to hear
definitely
you.
Lower the volume.
Yep.
You're gonna need to.
That's cool. So you won't get the same immersion on the chat because you won't have the sound, but it's pretty cool sound.
So I want to highlight a few things before we start. So just for the game developers out there, so what you can see here is that this is made in Unity, and you can see that it looks very pretty. And I mean, there was a lot of work that went into basically making it look like this. So you can kind of see at the screen, it almost looks like we're looking at like an old school television monitor. With like all the shaders and the effects. So it's basically, I put this shader on it that basically makes the entire screen look like a television. And then I added these really cool like hexagon shaders on like the right, left sides of the screen that you can kind of see around the graphics. And those are animated, so everything in this, it really feels like you're in an immersive arcade. That's the vibe I tried to get. And I hired an artist, this amazing artist named Lita, and she did all the artwork for it. And I think it just turned out really amazing. So it was really awesome that we were able to work with that. And then you can also see in the background, we have data weave code flowing in the background, kind of with like the star field. And I thought that would be a fun little touch to add. So
there's some fans of the retro look on the chat. Trent is saying that he quite likes it. Yeah, I was gonna ask. So I was not one of the lucky ones that was able to go to arcade games, mostly because there was none around where I lived. But I like every time I see them, like, so for example, good example lately is Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things has this like geek kids that always go to the arcade game and play there, and I'm always like, oh, that sounds so cool. And that's kind of like I don't know, I just love the atmosphere there and just people meeting and playing. It's kind of like the old LANs we used to do, like, again, years ago. There's still some, but it's not as you don't get the local ones as much as you used to. Okay, so that's the high scores. So that's why we need to beat, right?
Yep. And you can see those are the different enemies. So we're going against custom code There's going to be no data breaches here because we're securing our APIs. No performance.
degradation.
Yeah, and technical debt. There we go. So
the worst one, technical debt.
those are the enemies we're fighting against. This is why you want to build with an API-led approach when you're building APIs.
For the QA people on the chat, technical debt. Hope you like it. Okay, so let's see. Let's have a quick game. So you said, okay, so this is to move around, and to shoot, I use, okay, that's how good I am at games.
It's a pretty hard game. You know, I don't make games that are easy, but the thing is, that's why you need the power-up. So what I'm going to do on my machine is while you're playing this game, I'm going to send a post request to the API, but you died. So
yeah. you have to.
But you got a high score. So what you can do is you can use the W and the S key on your keyboard to basically assign letters. Yeah, there you go.
Where's the?
And you can see that no one sent any API endpoint requests. And so what I'll do is in the chat, what I can do is I can basically link the main URL, and then people can actually send in post requests while you're playing, and basically help you win the game. Or it's actually endless, so you can't win the game, but people will be able to basically hack the game in real time.
I just want to be on top. That's all. Okay, so you said delete on chat, so I'm gonna take it and show how you would, like, if they want to do it, I can show it here. So create a new request in Postman, right? And we want that to be post, you said?
Yep, post.
Okay, and then paste the URL here.
Yep, and then we have the 4 endpoints, which were listed in the game. So spawn shield.
Yep, so let's go with spawn shield. So actually I have it here already. Cool.
Yeah. And what I added in the, so you can click send and it'll basically send it and add the new UUID. We don't get a response because I didn't code that in as the,
Who needs a response anyway? That's fine. You just want it to be sent. Yeah.
But in the headers, what you can do, you can go to headers.
Yep.
And I added this last night really quickly. But if you type in name, what you can do is then you can add a value. So you can put in your name. It has to be a string. And essentially, when you send that request, it'll then show up in the game with who sent the request. So the name. But the thing is, you have to send a new name every time.
Okay. So anyone that is ready to spam and help me win, just make sure that you update that. Otherwise, I think you're going to get an error. But that's So we've been, not gonna lie, we've been asking Jordan a lot. We're like, please, can you do that for us? And he's done it. So that's very cool. Because we kind of wanted that you had a way to differentiate who's actually helping us win. And so this is available only for the spawn shield because that's the one that has actually something that you can view on screen, right? The other one that's more like a power up that just helps you. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you start playing here, what I'll do is I'll send a post request, and I'll show you how it works. So
let me know when you're ready, because I'm
I'm ready.
Seconds. Okay, let's
I'm
go.
ready. So so start playing.
Yep.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this post request. So see, now you just got spawned with the shield.
That game is too easy now.
See, someone said but. I don't know who said that.
I know who said that. I'm betting on Joyce. Ooh, and now I shoot faster as well.
Yeah, so these are all, we're spawning these in the game. So see the endpoints on the left-hand side, API endpoints, power laser, spawn shield. All you have to do is send post requests to those endpoints, and we'll basically help him get the high score in the game. So
you can see when they're activated as well, yeah.
Yeah, so when they light up red, that means that a post request has been sent to that API endpoint.
It's hard for me to talk and play at the same time. I'm like...
No, it's actually a really tough game, and it gets faster and faster. But I mean, we're helping you out, so you have 1 life left. But there you go. And when you don't send a thing in the header, when you don't send a name in the header, then it just shows up as Anon.
Oh, I didn't see that guy come in. Jordan Hare, he's pouring me up.
Nice job.
Do I have the high score yet? So what do I get if I have the highest score? What do I win? Apart from my name,
you get street cred.
I don't know. Oh, so I don't know who powered that shield, but that came in like very handy. Someone was rushing at me right at that time.
Yeah, I just spawned it for you. There you go. Charlie just spawned one. Basically, it looks like you have infinite invincibility.
Yeah. So Um, one thing we could do. So I'm gonna. Oh, I can't go out. I was gonna keep myself. Okay, so I'm gonna keep myself just because I'm very bad at focusing on two things at the same time, and if I play the game, I can't actually like talk to people in chat or talk to you. So I died, which is good, but also I got the highest of them score, which is like 55k. I'm like 5 times the next score. So um, that's a team job that we did. I didn't really win that one. You won that one. So
Nice job.
yeah. What should be our team name? Kind of go for Twitch.
You can only type in 3 letters.
Yeah,
but what I do want to highlight is that round, people in the chat and me and everyone who was in here, we sent 32 requests to
that's a lot.
Mulesoft. So that's 32 Mule messages. And it actually aligns pretty well when we go to our analytics in any point platform. And when we go and look at Runtime Manager, we can actually see how many people were hitting our requests and everything in real time.
So I'll go for Twee, and let's say that's the one. So what we can do now, let's go back to you, and you can actually tell us more in detail how you got to create that and like the details in between. Because like obviously there's the design center that we've done here, but you've created all these for me. I kind of cheated and I just imported that. So you can let us know what's behind. And then what we can do is go back to Postman and see how we can cheat on the Postman side and kind of spawn like power-ups indefinitely.
Yeah, if you don't mind, could you just show the game again? Someone's at my door, and I just want to make sure
Okay.
I grab this. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Can you just show it again and let people play?
Yep. All right, so chat, I need you again. I'm on my own. If no one helps me, I'll be either real sad or real mad. Probably just real sad. Okay, so starting the game again. Same endpoint, everyone. Just go for it, spam it. And what we need to beat is 50k. Yeah. Okay. A shield, sent a shield. Oh wow. Okay. We should get people from the chat to play with us, because this is when you get all the power-ups, it's actually pretty fun to play because you just spam keys, and then then you get very stressed when no one sends, "Hey Jorge."
I am back, but the game looks great. It looks so good on the stream.
Yeah, it looks like I'm really liking. Like, so I did try it like before the first time you sent it, because we were trying to see if this would work on stream, etc. But I think my highest score when no one was giving me power-ups was like 2k, because I'm just not good at this game. And Pew Pew gave me the shield again, clutch, because I was about to die.
Your microphone's fading out a little bit on my end.
Okay, maybe if I get closer. Is that better?
A little laggy.
Oh, that might be. Okay, so I stopped the game.
Okay, yeah, so we can jump back to my screen real quick.
Yeah.
So sorry for the delay, guys. My landlord had to grab my garage door remote.
That's fine.
So
let's get you to. Can you share your screen through Skype, and then I can share it on the.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad. Again, I feel very empowered when.
What I loved was that everyone was actually like you were actually able to play the game while people live were able to affect the gameplay, and that's what's so cool. So originally Mulesoft, the reason why we made MuleInvaders is we made it for the booth experience. So when you would come to the booth, we were gonna have a whole themed booth on on basically MuleInvaders. So it was going to be a really amazing experience. And then COVID happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happened to all the booth duty was supposed to do this? Yeah.
Yeah, but luckily we're gonna definitely show it off at the next event. So if you're here at Mulesoft for the next big event in person, we'll definitely be showing off MuleInvaders. It'll be a lot of fun.
And you'll have to beat our high score. Now it's going to be all the matter of beating the Twitch Plays high score.
Yeah, and what I want to highlight is Runtime Manager. So this is where our API lives in basically the cloud that we host. And so what we can see here is that in real time, we're able to see how many Mule messages were sent. So like in that short time period, we were also testing, but we had 321 post requests sent in just that short amount of time. And we can then go back and we can see how many people are actually using our app. And what we can do is we can do different things. Like we can even go into the object store and we can even view like, okay, like what keys there are, and then what are the binary values, and then we can download these values and check it out all within the cloud, which is pretty cool. And so what I can actually go into right now is Anypoint Studio. And this is where the project was actually originally created. So you can see that each flow is a different endpoint. And like we mentioned earlier, there's an HTTP listener, and then there's a object store value basically storing a UUID. And here's the logic to basically store the header name. So like, you know how you guys sent as a header, you guys sent your name and you were able to see that post request? This is where I basically send that. I simply in DataWeave just say attributes.header.name, and that stores it as a string in the KV store. And what I'm able to then do is take all these values in Unity and then parse them and then basically print them on the screen. So what I can do now is I can show you, let me just show you how I deploy. So simply I built this app in Anypoint Studio, and all I have to do is I right click, I go to Anypoint platform, and I click deploy on Cloud Hub. And this is, so you basically build that your integration like in Anypoint Studio, and then you simply just click deploy, and then you specify a name and you click deploy, and then it will deploy in the cloud. It's really, really simple. And what I'll do, yeah?
I was thinking, is Anypoint Studio like an Eclipse extension, or is it built on the same base?
So Anypoint Studio is basically the IDE to build integrations using Mulesoft. So it's our own proprietary. It's like built off Java. It's like really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very similar to Eclipse. So it's like I've seen that before.
Yep.
But yeah.
It's built off a version of that. So it's very powerful. And then this is Unity, obviously.
Yep.
So what we can do is we can kind of walk through the project on how I developed it. So we have a few scenes, right? We have the URL scene, which basically it takes your URL, and then we have like our main menu script. I think it's right here. Yeah, and then we have the main game, right?
So you've got scenes, right, which are your different scenes, and then on the left you've got the different elements of the scenes.
Yep. So on the left-hand side, this is where we can view the different game objects. So everything in Unity is object-oriented. So what you can do is you can simply create an object, and then you can, on the right side in the inspector, basically assign different properties to that object. So in this case, I created a player, and I added a sprite renderer to it, and then I was able to add a box collider to the player, and then I was also able to apply some scripts. So we have like a player logic controller, which controls, like the shields and like how the player moves. And that's the player mover script. And then we even have like an explodable script where like when the ship blows up, like it creates an explosion, right? So what's great about Unity is that everything is object oriented. So you can just directly drag and drop scripts directly on the objects, and then they'll affect that object. What we can get into next is we can actually show how we're receiving the post requests. So what I've done is I've written this function in C#. And in C#, I basically created a coroutine, which is basically polling an HTTP endpoint. And so what I did in Unity is there's a thing called Unity Web Request, and we can basically get the URI. So this is the URI from what we input on this URL scene right here. So it basically grabs this URL that you entered, and then it tries to hit it with a post request. If it errors, it'll then basically say on your game, okay, like there was an error, please enter the correct URL. But if it succeeds, it'll basically take the JSON object and we'll convert it into the correct format. And what we actually specified how this JSON was going to be formatted using the transform card in Anypoint Studio. So what we can do is we can actually go back, and I can show you right here. This is the output that basically the game is reading. So we have each key, laser, shield, score, power laser, assigned to the payload response. So this is basically grabbing the different UUIDs. So in Unity, what we can do is we can basically just do a simply, like we can use the JSON class, and we can basically get a field, and we can just match up the strings. So from the back end, and we basically just say, okay, like is the string different than the last enemy value? And if it isn't, or if it is, then basically just run these functions. So change the fire delay, add the text on the screen, and then on the shield one, add the anypoint shields around, basically enable them, disable them, add the sound effects, things like that. And so all this is modularized out. So we have functions located in other scripts that'll basically execute these different requests. So this is really how simple it is. It's just some simple if statements, and then some functions are executing when you actually hit that endpoint.
So Unity has, if I recall correctly, they have like different languages you can use to write your own scripts, right? They have like C#, but they have their own one as well. I can't remember the name of it.
So they used to support JavaScript and one other one. But the thing is, they actually removed support for all those, and now they're just sticking with C#. And I really like C#.
Yeah,
it's a lot similar to like Java in a lot of ways, the way the classes are, set up. And I think it's a really easy language for beginners to start off with. It's very forgiving, and I like it.
I don't know if anyone on chat has been using Unity before, but there was this other language, and if you may remember us, if you've been using it, it was like a weird name as well. I just can't remember it. But it was a bit of it looked like Go a bit, like in like a mix between JavaScript and Go probably. But yeah.
So this is it. So that's basically how it works. So essentially this HTTP listener class, it literally pulls an endpoint, right? And so I think ideally, right, if we were to set this up, okay, because this example, it works great in this setting. We have 20 viewers, right? We're not hitting Mulesoft with a lot of requests, but like let's say there was 10,000 or 100,000 people hitting it, this wouldn't work, right? This wouldn't scale. So I think if we really wanted this project to scale and we wanted to design it with best practices, instead of using object stores to basically store the UUIDs, we would actually set up the entire game using more of like a publish subscribe model or pub sub architecture. And you can also do that in Mulesoft as well. You can use the pub sub connectors. We also have a product called Anypoint MQ that can do it as well. Or you can use some third party like WebSockets, something along those lines. But that's definitely an ideal solution to scale. But I think for this example, we would just want to show how easy it was to get a backend up and running. Get a prototype up and running.
When I see how easy it was to play with like 16 people watching the stream and probably like half of them only sending power-ups, if you have 10,000 people helping you play that game, it's just, and then you don't even have to move, right? Like you just stay in the middle and you just press spacebar and just shoot indefinitely, and then that's it. But yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I like a game where you always win. There's like I think there's so in gaming, right? There's casual gamers, right? And there's hardcore gamers, and that's like this with 10,000 people to help you is the perfect game where you feel really empowered and you just go through. It's kind of have you played the Chuck Norris game?
No, I haven't.
It was a Flash game, I think, on the web, and basically you're Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris being that person that just can do anything. All you have to do is press left arrow, and you just walk through things. If there's a wall, you break the wall. If there's a car, you just throw it out of the way. It was this kind of stuff as well. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
That makes me think. I don't know if you want to plug it, but I think you're working on a game called Meme Run 2. What's the point of that game?
Oh yeah, so I am. So basically I'm working on a new game that'll come out at the end of this month, and it's called Meme Run, and basically it's a game based off internet memes. So this is unrelated to Mulesoft. Like I'm an indie game developer at heart, right? And so I think like on my free time when I'm not working my full-time job, like I love being able to bring gaming into like the developer ecosystem. So I think what I'm really passionate about is doing DevRel and developer advocacy and finding fun ways to teach developers and get people excited about our product. And that's why I had the idea for MuleInvaders, and that's why I was really excited when I proposed the idea to my team, that everyone was so excited and got behind it and just let me get creative and let me develop it. And I think on my free time, right, quarantine happened. I had a bunch of free time at night, and I'm like, what could I do that would be fun? And so I thought that creating this Meme Run 2 game would be a lot of fun. And yeah, there's a whole website. I mean, I could show you the website. Yeah.
What's your best meme, chat?
Yeah, but this is the game.
I have a list of memes that I always pull out when I talk to my coworkers. Like I love creating a meme, and I'll generate memes on a daily basis. So that sounds like something I would play. Oh, that's yeah. That website sure flashes out.
It's kind of laggy, I think, on the Twitch
Yeah.
stream,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the website, so you can definitely check it out. But it's going to be coming out on Steam, so I'm pretty excited to be releasing this and getting it out there. I think a lot of kids will really like it. So they've been asking for it for about 5 years. So
Did you do Meme Run 1 before? Or is it
yeah,
just okay?
that's what I released on the Wii U. So
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm a power meme person, so I would play that for sure.
definitely check it out. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that kind of wraps it up for MuleInvaders. I think ultimately what I wanted people to learn is like really how easy it is to build an API and set it up and get something working and get a backend working,
Okay.
super easy. And yeah,
Let's go back to Postman then and see how we can cheat around. So there's different ways to cheat with Postman. So you can use the collection runner, which selects a collection and just runs it in a row, but it would just run it once. So basically, I would have all power-ups at once. Let me share my screen again so you can see real time. It's probably easier. But then I would get all power-ups at once. I would not get them again. So I'm wondering, um, what could I do? Let's start with creating a new collection. We'll call it Mule Invaders Cheat. And you said we have. Actually, let me copy that before. We have 4 endpoints, right? So I'm going to go to my collection and I'm going to put it at the top so it's easier to find. I'm going to create this. So we have one which is spawn shield. Actually, you know what? I'm going to create that collection and then after the stream I can just publish it and anyone that can play or that wants to play the game, and they can just get the collection and run it whenever they want. That would be helpful. So we have spawn shield. What's another one?
we got Power Laser is one of them.
Power laser. Is it all one word?
Yeah, one word.
Okay. So power laser. Actually, I can just do duplicate. Then we have one that gives you more score.
Yeah, I think it's called Spawn Score.
Spawn. And this one has a dash, right?
Oh gosh, wait, let me look.
I think there's one like Spawn Sheet doesn't, and
I think the API blaster does. Oh yeah, Spawn Score doesn't have a dash. Does not
doesn't.
have a dash.
Okay.
And then API blaster does.
Okay, so let me add a new request.
Oh, but make sure that one's a post request.
Yep. I'll change them all. So API blaster has a dash. Yep. Okay, so let's change them all to post and save. Post. And we said spawn sheet can have a header, which is name.
But like you can just leave it blank.
Yeah. Or I'll just do Twitch here. Actually, yeah, you're right. Because if I run it several times, the second time it's not gonna work if I have the same name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because I just haven't coded that yet.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. So we've got all the requests here. What we can do, there's a thing that allows you to select which request you want to run after. So I can go into my tests, and that's going to execute right after like any request is being sent. So I could do postman.set next request, and just give the name of another request. So I can call power laser. Then after I run power laser, I can run. Oh, I didn't rename that one. Let me rename that. This one is spawn score. Okay, so spawn score. And then from this one, I can run API blaster. And here, I guess I'm gonna have like a. I don't want to spam the endpoint right here. I don't want to like you said. It's not made to be spam. Like it's a. Yeah, we don't want to do an infinite loop on the endpoint. So I'm gonna add, I guess, a sleep function for. Was that a millisecond? That's like 2 seconds or 20? Yeah, it's 2 seconds. So
Nice.
Is that enough, or should I do 5 seconds? Because how long do they last, the power ups?
They last for 5 seconds, I think.
Okay,
or
so let's do
4 seconds.
Let's do like 7 seconds. So I have 2 seconds where I have nothing.
Okay.
And I have to struggle. And then we can go back to Go back to that. So I don't know if anyone on chat is familiar with that, but I'm thinking I may like just run something that will never stop. So if someone can just like yell in caps in chat if I'm about to break Postman or break any point, just let me know. But if not, I'm just gonna go ahead, run this one. Actually, you know what? Let's make a pause here and see if they all run one by one. I'll clear the heat. Yeah, I can just do that. So if I run this one now, let's see what happened here. So yeah, so I run the first one, and it read 4 of them. So all these ones, because we're sharing the same workspace with Jordan, are the ones that he sent while I was doing the game. So I'm just going to delete the history for today and go again, so we can make sure that I'm running the right things. So spawn shield, run it once. Oh, it only runs spawn shield. So what have I done wrong? Let's look documentation. Workflow. So documentation says Postman. Oh, so that needs to be in the pre-request scripts. So I'm just moving stuff around. So what I'm doing here, Jordan, I'm making sure that I'm not blasting and making an infinite loop before I actually run it like once, because I don't want to break either. So I'm doing this on the
you won't break Mulesoft.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's just I want to be able to stop it because I don't want to run something in the background. So let's go here. So if I run this one now, let's see what happened. I only run once. Do I need to use the set a request loop over console log set next request get? Oh, so that's to loop over the same one. Okay. So I can do, if I do collection runner, select my doesn't pick up my code. Oh, I'm on the wrong workspace. Twitch. And we want, what's the name of this one again? Twitch or MuleInvaders. Yeah. I can just pick spawn shield. I run this. Okay, it does not work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if anyone knows. Okay, so it says waterfall is default. Next request only run in collection runner. Use the collection runner. I'm using the collection runner. It's not working. What am I doing wrong? Get Postman. Or what I can do, I can just do it. So I'm going to go back here and I'm just going to select them 4. And I go, okay, so that would work. So let's do that. Let's do what I tried to do before and run them side by side.
So it'll basically execute, just to summarize. I had to step out for a second, but basically to summarize, when you run it, it'll basically just execute all these endpoints at the same time, essentially.
Yeah, so it should give me
That's it.
all power-ups at the same time. So
that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to do that once, and then I'm going to look back at the code and see why it didn't work. So submit. Oh, it goes. Can I make it not full screen? It seems to go full screen every time.
Yeah, it goes full screen every time.
Okay. So I can just do. I'll do a quick Alt Tab. So I'm in game. Alt Tab, retry, and you can see I've got all power-ups.
All of it spawned at once.
Okay, and now I'm just about to die. Okay, so that works. The endpoints work, so that's the first part that we wanted to check. Now let's go back to Postman and see how to make it work. So code-wise, we have postman.set next request in the pre-request script. So that should call the next one. but this is not working. So maybe I've got the wrong name. Spawn score. No, that's fine. Let's look quickly back at the documentation. Postman settings request is always executed at the end of the current request, so that's fine.
Which one are you saying? I think it worked. I think all of them executed.
Yeah, so sure. that's because, sorry, like right before you came, I realized it was not working. So what I did, I just selected them all from here. But what I'm trying to do is kind of only have to select one, and then it should run them all anyway because it's through the code. And then that's what using the code would allow me to have that sleep function, which make it that it would just keep coming until I actually stop the execution. So I'm starting with Spawn Shield, and I'm starting with Spawn Shield here. It says keep viable values, run collections using stored cookies. Should be fine. But you know what? Let's try it again, because maybe it worked, but it didn't show somewhere.
Yeah, maybe try don't make it 7 seconds. I think maybe the power-ups only show up for like 3 seconds or 4 seconds, so maybe lower it.
Okay, so someone is asking code, spy droid. Yes, I will show you the code. That's pretty much all we have as code is we have these 4 requests, and we're trying to execute them one by one with like a delay after the last one, so it goes back again and runs them all, which is basically the effect of that is I'm going to have power-ups nonstop. But looking at the documentation, it does say all I have to do is set next request, and it should call the other ones. Have I saved the code? Yeah, I have saved. And you said, Jordan, I should change that to be maybe 5 seconds. So let's do this.
5 seconds will be good.
So anyone on chat has an idea of why this doesn't work? Postman, I feel like this should work. You know, it's that moment where you're like, I'm missing something obvious.
Does it need to be a string? Wait, let's see. Go back to Postman.
Good point. So it says request name.
Yeah, it looks like it needs to be in quotes. Are you doing that?
So I'm doing single quotes, but so that shouldn't matter.
Maybe try
right?
double quotes.
Let's do that.
I don't know if that would matter.
I feel like that shouldn't matter. But if that's it, then you're a genius. And this one doesn't need. So let's go again. So going back to my runner, selecting only that one. Let's see. No, it only runs one. And if I look at the console,
Oh, okay.
So I think it does try to do it, but it says sleep is not defined.
Oh, so sleep is wrong.
Wait, how do you do a sleep in JavaScript again?
Oh, it's like wait for seconds, right?
Yeah, is it? Sleep. JavaScript. Anyone on chat? It's gonna be faster.
Or set timeout. Or.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Set timeout, the name of your function, and they all go too complicated. Let's do set timeout. JavaScript. Oh, and that's probably a window event. I'm not sure if we can do that in, but let's see. I'm thinking. No, let's copy. Let's do what most people do. Postcom. So we have a sleep demo. So you need to use async await, which is fine.
Yeah.
So we can do that. Set timeout and R. I guess R would be. Oh, it's just coding itself.
Mm-hmm.
But where do I put my function then? Anyone on chat knows? No. You know what? Let's just do. So because it runs through the collection runner, I can just stop it whenever. So I'm just going to get rid of the sleep. Just do that.
Okay. On Stack Overflow, they're saying that they use set timeout function number on Postman.
Okay.
So
sleep.
I'll post it in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, that works.
Like that.
Okay. So I'll take that, paste it on my last one. Set timeout function and number being guessing the number of milliseconds. So we said 5,000.
5,000. There you go.
Okay. So let's go ahead here. Retry. Clear. Okay, so it is. Oh, that took a while to run. Oh, it took a while because there's the 5 milliseconds that it waited for. But I'm wondering why it always goes.
So I think we have to call. The function, the next function we want, like to do the loop. So you waited, but now we have to call back what spawn shield again.
So it should do it automatically because set next request just sets the next one to call after that. But what I can do, let's try to run it. It's not the best way, but I like to just go and try and see if it works. So that doesn't really matter because it's going to go full screen. Okay, so let's get my collection runner ready.
No, it looks like it's run. Oh, it does go full screen. Okay, I guess I did add that in there.
Oh, so it did spawn shield, but it didn't do the other ones. Replace the function with your function you want to run. So that's chat saying that. Snibo1337 is saying replace. So the thing is, really all I'm trying to do here is delay the execution of that request. I'm not really trying to delay the execution of that because this just defines what's the next request that's going to be sent. But I guess I can replace that with it shouldn't really change a thing. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I think like that is the way to go. Yeah, that's how we should do it. Try that. I think that'll work.
What I'm wondering is that even when we're in here, let me do collection runner again. I run the first one, which doesn't have any relations to this one that has the set timeout in it, and it still seems to execute the set timeout for some reason. Oh, it's not loading now. There we go. MuleInvaders. Yeah, it just stops. I don't know why. And what if I run them all? Is it going to come back to the first one? Let's see. So it waits. So it does the sleep, right? Like, it does. It goes back to 82. Why is that so?
Oh, there we go. It's looping.
Is it looping on the same one? Yeah, it's just doing API blast or API blast. Okay, cool. So
well, that's nice.
Okay,
let's try that out.
Yeah, so that works.
Try it out.
Yeah, let's do that. I just need to launch it, be ready to do like a quick alt tab to move from one to the other.
You won't have you'll only have the fast blaster.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect.
To be fair, what I should do is just loop on the
shield.
No, on my score, and just loop on getting the highest score.
Oh yeah. Because it gives you 1,000.
Yeah, so I can just
every
loop
time
on that for like 60 times, and that's it. I've got the highest score. I just need to do it very quickly. Okay, so actually I can start it now. It's just gonna keep on running, right?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, cool. And now I'm back here, and we play. Okay.
Sick. So you just have infinite.
So it stopped. Is it gonna start again? Cool. Oh, thanks.
I think it is running, right? Over and over?
Yeah, like, so it stopped because... Oh no, now it's just like, yeah, it's just infinite, basically. So it starts again. Nice. Yeah, basically I could play that for days. Is that you sending the shield, or is it someone in chat?
I think that's someone in chat.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you, chat. Okay. Ooh, now I'm getting. Wow. So you don't have the sound on chat on Twitch, but I'd really see I still lose. But anyone on chat, I'd really advise that you go and play that game because the sound is very like it's very old school as well. I really like that you did that. Okay, should I try to beat my latest high score? I don't think I'll be able to do it.
Oh, someone spawned in a shield for you.
Yep, I think that's the that's the one I need the most because I somehow can't be aware of what's around me. Okay, what was the highest score? Was it 55,000?
Yeah. Oh my god.
No.
You're gonna die.
Someone gives me a shield, please. Oh, thank you. We just have to hold for 5,000 more.
Yeah, what I had is the last stage just redoes the same wave every time, but ultimately I'd like to build out more waves and more different designs, but they take a while to make, you know?
I mean, that's like, so how long did you say this one took you like from the moment you started developing into the moment you pushed it?
I worked on this for maybe about like 3 weeks of work.
That's like that's a high quality game for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm not a game developer. I don't know like game developers in chat what you would consider that, right? But that's pretty fun to play. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, this was hard. This was not easy to make, you know, in that short amount of time, but I'm glad I was able to deliver it. Super awesome.
So tell me why my score is still going up.
Because I didn't make it instant. I just made it go up by a certain value.
Okay, fair. Oh, but it does. Okay, it does stop like recording it. Okay, it keeps going up like on the UI.
Yeah.
So let me stop that running. So that's pretty cool. See, it did keep on running. And I could. So what I would have to do instead is just loop on every request, and that would work. Okay, so let's go again with.
You said 84 requests that round.
Yes, that's pretty good. Well, that's cool. I think we did. So let me switch back to the discussion slide for Twitch. So you showed us how you developed that game and how we can like very easily like get started with it on Mulesoft. And I think one thing that actually, so we've been using the same endpoints for all the game, but one thing that we need to mention is that when I could have used the URL that was provided to me by Mulesoft, and I could have my own version of the game where I'm the only one who's able to send requests to that endpoint, right?
Yep. So
we did that. We saw how to use it with Postman and how to kind of cheat. We beat the highest score thanks to chat, so thanks again. So what we do before we leave, what we do usually is kind of this shout out moment. So is there anything, whether it's Mulesoft related, whether it's gaming related, whatever related that you want to shout out?
I don't think so. I think the audience pretty much understood how it worked, and I like being able to see how they were able to interact with it in real time. Like that was the whole point of why this was created. So in a real world scenario, like what we wanted is at the expo booth, when people come up, we wanted one person on one terminal to be like hacking the game, like sending post requests, and then the other person be playing it in real time, and then like basically have each other collaboratively help each other get the high score. So we're really excited to basically bring this to conferences and have people try it out, because I think when they actually get to try it out in person and they're able to use like a arcade like I set it up to work with like custom controllers. So once they're able to like get on an Xbox controller and basically, you know, control the game, I think it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. So
yeah, I usually have my PlayStation controller plugged to my PC for this kind of game, or like kind of all the kind of 2D games. Like I don't know if you've ever played Brawlhalla. It's like a Steam game. It's kind of like a, how would I say? It's not a super, kind of a super Street Fighter, but like very basic and free. So I like free games. But yeah, that you can play on Steam. Cool. So I actually don't have a shout out as well. As usual, I'll just share my screen quickly. We have our community showcase page on the on the community forum where people share stuff, and we had Carson Hunter that's been creating a collection called Rich Data Services COVID-19 Project, which is a very extended one where you can see a lot of data from what's happening with COVID in different countries and stuff. So you can check that out. But apart from that, I think that's all on my side. So thank you, Jordan. Very cool game. It was fun to play, and it was fun to kind of create that on Mulesoft as well. And bye everyone, I guess. See you next time.
Bye guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.